And this morning, the 2024 Chamber Media Personality of the Year, George Wiafe,
King George,
is here with us. What have I done again?
I said you never cease to amaze me.
No, but we need to celebrate you. I mean, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry held its 5th Chamber Awards and awarded you as the Media Personality of the Year.
Charlie, and just small.
No, that's not a small thing. Why
Media Personality of the Year.
Yes.
By the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Oh, mine.
Only small mind.
So, Winston, let's talk about the budget this Thursday.
Yes.
I mean, I was talking about the fact that whatever that will come out will be dependent on the cabinet meeting. Now, the cabinet meeting was held yesterday.
Okay.
They've approved the budget, giving the minister. The minister presents the budget on behalf of the president.
Exactly.
And so, cabinet has given the minister the go ahead and present the budget this Thursday. I mean, one thing that will be key for a lot of businesses will be the whole restructuring of our tax laws and VAT as well. And the VAT rate is going to go down. That we can confirm is going to go down.
The VAT rate will go down.
Yes, the COVID levy is also going to go away as well.
So beyond the COVID levy going, the VAT rate itself will go down.
That is the effective VAT rate that businesses are paying.
Okay.
Just a caveat: the effective VAT rate that businesses are paying,
which means
is going to go down marginally.
Which means there's a likelihood that we would no longer add the levies and then calculate the VAT on the levies.
Well. And also,
what you have will be a straight one.
Yeah, of course, and a bit about the NHIS and also the covered levy. There will be some reforms again that will see that there will be some reduction in that area as well.
Okay.
So more of relief to businesses. The whole new VAT regulations were presented to Parliament for approval. There have been concerns about you don't know what you pay, some ambiguity about the VAT rates and all the rest. This budget is finally going to address that as well. So, I mean, be assured that all other things being equal, the economists will say there will be a marginal reduction in the VAT rate. The COVID-19 is going to go away.
Well, that's good.
But if you are about the 1 CD levy on petroleum products,
it's a good question.
Is it staying or is going?
Still government is looking at how they can raise the required revenue to clear the debts in terms of and also to ensure constant supply.
So it's staying.
So it's still a dicey thing right now. Whether I should go or shouldn't go. Yeah.
George, recently we launched. Let me take myself out of it. Recently, the Ghana Revenue Authority launched the modified taxation scheme. And it was talking about turnovers. You see, or if you raise this amount of money, you just get onto an app and then you pay this thing.
You will see a lot of reforms being put out. The whole idea is to simplify the process to make it easy for you to pay your taxes.
I'm going
to
make a certain point. Now, there are a lot of people in this country who flaunt wealth. Okay? They flaunt it. I mean, they flaunt the wealth. We do this, we do that. I think that the Ghana Revenue Authority, they're doing well, but they must begin to check people's tax commitments and tax payments.
But they are going after these people. Behind the scenes, they are.
They must do more.
Those who have actually moved their wealth outside and everything.
The problem is, they must not go after the people. They must not go after just certain people. All of the people who are doing that,
who are flaunting their wealth.
There are certain people, we see them in this country, and we want to know their commitment to the development of this.
Does it include the fake it or make it grow?
If they are part, they should also.
Because Stanley, you see people flaunting wealth, and sometimes laborious.
They will find out.
They call it settings.
Anyway, let's get into the papers. Thank you very much, George.
Okay, we'll start with the Daily Graphic. Justice Paul Bafo-Boni is on the front page. Courts will serve all fairly. CJ nominee pledges at vetting. Now, Student Loan Trust Fund increases students' loan by 50%. Nation's oil industry facing sharp decline. This is according to the Energy Minister. He's warning us that we need to do something about it. Ghana signs 6th bilateral debt agreement with Germany. And if you go to page 29, 2026 budget, KPMG wants greater inflows into flagship programs. They are asking for more inflows for the 24-hour economy, the Big Push program, and other flagship programs to ensure productivity and job creation stimulation.
The National Enquirer this morning talks about the 25 illegal gold traders who've been arrested by Gold Board in a crackdown because the authorities now continuing with their crackdown on persons who are illegally trading gold within the sector. And there's talk about the Ghana police and Nigerian police also strengthening some level of cooperation just to combat crime. So that is one of the joint police activity that the National Enquirer is talking about this morning. NHIS is hitting 18.4 million in terms of coverage, quite a significant number there, making NHIS quite a significant intervention in the country. We just hope that the reforms will boost and make it more effective. Government slashes 30% of passport application fees, which means that you're having to pay somewhere around 300, I believe, for the new passports now, instead of the higher price. So we wait to see what the actuals will be when the finance minister goes in to present the budget for the coming year. GIPC clinches dual victory at a world conference in Dubai. So that's a feather in the cap for the team working at the GIPC. KGL boss is also edging a shift in national mindset. That is one of the stories as well that the National Enquirer is talking about. You might want to find out details when you grab a copy of the National Enquirer this morning.
The Daily Guide leads with the CJ story as well. Minority boycott CJ nominee amid drama. GJ calls for Menshia declaration to end Galamsey. Good news in the telco sector. Telecel Group Huawei signed MOU to advance network modernization. And Ghana Police Nigerian counterparts plan task force. But I think the big story for me from the Daily Guide is on page 3. Bawku peace mediation ends in 3 weeks, according to the Menshia Palace. The palace says that the chieftaincy crisis and the mediation activities will end in about 3 weeks, and that should start the process of lasting peace in Bawku, which is very key because the crisis has really affected everything in Bawku, from healthcare delivery, education, business, and everything. And I think this is a good thing that's going to happen to the people up there.
Exactly. I mean, I'm happy that we're finally getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a beautiful place. When you get to Bawku, I have been there, and the last thing you want is violence. The last thing you want is all the challenges that the people go through. After all, many of these persons have intermarried, if I could put it that way. And so the last time I was there, when someone was actually trying to disrupt the program, what I actually said to him, that I'd visited the Bawku Naba, and who welcomed us, and actually told us that for him, he would want an election free of violence.
Yeah.
And the moment I said that I'd spoken to the Bawku Naba, and this is what he had said to me, and so I wasn't going to allow anybody to disrupt the program, peace prevailed.
Yeah.
I mean, let's allow peace to prevail. Anyway, let's get into other stories.
There's a talk about the vetting yesterday because for the insights, Bafo Boni has been promising to champion fair, transparent and a clean judicial system. Quite a drama there in Parliament yesterday when the minority staged a walkout. But he's been, responding to all of that and says, well, he'll be championing a fair and a transparent judicial system. There's a talk also about the Gold Board story here that I raised earlier about some 25 foreigners and also locals who are now being arrested over illegal gold trading because the clemency that was given by Gold Board, that period has expired. So looks like there's a swoop on individuals who are trading, especially foreigners, illegal gold in this country. Then there's the talk about Swami DC giving Mahama thumbs up over the decisive action on the NIMOS attack, and the story about Gomwa Asin and some crisis which is deepening there, according to the Inside newspaper when it comes to chieftaincy. So these are some of the stories you'd find on the front page of the Inside this morning.
Let's go online.
And there are lots of juicy stories on my Joe Online. Minority came to the vetting with a script, not questions. This is Shaibu Mahama speaking. There's more on the vetting and related matters. Chief Justice nominee explains why he sentenced notorious armed robber Atayi to 70 years in prison.
I listened to that.
Yeah.
And he actually makes a certain point And at that point, I actually understood why sometimes, judges give the kind of rulings they give. He said that his mother, who was a Catholic, at some point decides that she's going to, harvest her plantain and give it to the Reverend Father. She gets there, walks, only to realize that plantain has been stolen. Now, for the mother, the plantain means a lot. So you may sit in Accra and probably say that, this guy has been sentenced to this for just stealing plantain. But that person whose plantain has been stolen, what he or she has
could
lost,
have been the person's lifeline.
Exactly. Is very, very huge. And then he goes, but then he also explains that, now, you look at it again and say, okay, well, we need to look at, the whole community service and all of that. But the entire bit, jokingly, he said that, the fear was that even if he comes back, because the fear that if he comes back, the first person he could target will be him.
Yeah.
But if he goes in for 70 years, by the time he comes back, he's not even going to come back.
But there's been a lot of reaction to that particular statement. People online, some disagree with him for that statement. That probably it means that sometimes the judges also use their discretion to give people unfair sentences.
I think what the Chief Justice nominee said was only my understanding of it was that when I was younger, this was my thinking. But now I have changed. And he makes the point that when I was younger, we used to give these kinds of rulings, and so then he used himself as an example. And that is only to show that he's moved away from that particular situation.
Now he also says that we are considering implementing 24-hour service in some courts, and he mentioned the e-justice system, which I think we've really failed at delivering e-justice, and we should do better. This morning I was looking at the World Bank's e-transform project, e-Ghana project, e-governance project. Look, Winston, we've taken a lot of money for these things, but we don't see them being implemented properly. And all these projects also had the e-health bits, e-education, where there's a platform where lesson notes are there, parents can access them, students can access them, teachers. But we've blown money without seeing a lot of these things working. And look, if we want to be a competitive nation, we need to do better. We cannot take money for e-justice and not be able to implement it over years. But he says he's going to do it, so it's one of the things we'll be marking him with, right? We'll be assessing his success as a Chief Justice with the implementation of the e-justice system. Now, more from my journal online. Ghana's renegotiated lithium mining lease scheduled for parliamentary presentation today. And SML sues special prosecutor over unlawful seizure of critical revenue monitoring equipment. Now, a pay rise that feels like a pay cut. Minority is criticizing the 9% salary increase as betrayal of workers. And there is something on the SkyTrain project. Former Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund board member tells courts that the $2 million payment was never approved in the case of the Accra Sky train trial. So those are some of the stories on my Joy Online. And Bawku Boni, last one from him: Judiciary is as corrupt as the people who man it. This is Justice Bawku Boni speaking. I'll take you to.
So it means that, and I had Nana Santi Bedier to make this point before, that there's corruption within the judiciary. He didn't say judges were corrupt. He said there's corruption in the judiciary. And the Chief Justice nominee just told all of us, it's as corrupt as those who run it. It means that, yes, like Dr. Toniedu said to me one time when I interviewed him, corruption is in the gene of the Ghanaian. But you see, we must actually, everybody giving the chance could be corrupt. But when effective systems are put in place, they prevent people from being corrupt. So it's not okay just saying, oh, people are corrupt, but we must actually put in place the system. It's the reason at some point in time, even the empaneling of judges was done electronically. You didn't have to manually decide this person, that person goes to sit on which case. Okay, you have the expertise, you put it in a system, it will indicate who should sit on what case. The whole idea was to take away the human element that could breed bias, and in some cases, partiality.
Let me bring you some quick stories from City Newsroom. Established rice mills in Ghana, importers and exporters urge foreign investors. Some labor unions reject 9% pay rise, call it inadequate. And Abunose Asari, Public Accounts Committee chairperson, says to ECG that they should clean their house before raising tariffs. She's speaking again on the DDEP, and she says that the domestic debt exchange program was a painful but necessary action. And on her qualification to be chair of the Public Accounts Committee, she says she's qualified to be the chair of the Public Accounts Committee. Now, if you go to BNFT, there are a lot of stories as well. The Tema Oil Refinery revival to slash $10 billion oil import bill. This story is also there. And Menchia receives 130 more gold and art objects from South Africa and Britain. So we are getting some of the artifacts that were stolen from us, and Menchia has received about 130 more of those. And private sector must be recognized as a partner, not a competitor. This is Alex Dade of KGL Group speaking. The governor of the Bank of Ghana is also on the front page of the BNFT. Continental central banks must deepen collaboration. This is also very, very important, so that you can send money from Ghana to Nigeria easily. Money will flow within the continent easily to enable the Africa Continental Free Trade Area to work. And United Nigeria Airlines make inaugural landing in Accra, and the jet they brought was named Flight Lieutenant JJ Rawlings.
Oh,
yeah. I saw videos of that, and it looked really good.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Jerry John Rawlings. The bit about asking foreigners to also build rice mills in this country. The importers and exporters, it was established. He's urging foreign investors. Okay, but we can also establish our own rice mills. So, why do we need someone to come and invest in the establishment of rice mills when we can do that in this country?
Christmas is coming. If the government chief of staff gives an instruction to all the leaders in our public sector to buy local rice only, that instruction alone can transform our lives.